everybody. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Ken Knows Gambling. Got a little bit to talk about today. And before I do, I want to shout out two people. Glenn, my really good friend in Australia. And I want to shout out and thank him for being a member and everything he's done for me. Shout out Glenn and his family, his wife Maxie. And then another Australian, Val. We just had a hour chat the other day. And he's from around Sydney. And Glenn's around that, the Queensland area. So shout out to both of my Australian mates. And thank you for supporting KKG. All right. Then I want to talk about, we're going to talk about John over there at Casino Gaming Central. The first thing, his father, Gene Davids, I guess when John was young, his favorite saying, I guess, was you got to separate the fly shit from the pepper. And I love that saying. I know John says that he loves it. And I had called John and asked him about this, and he said it was okay. And so I created this with his dad's name on it. And what that actually means is you got to separate truth from lie, bullshit from reality. And John says it all the time. That's what it actually means. Now, I have a saying under here that I don't think John really cared for it, and I can probably change that and create a shirt if he wants one to this part, what he wants. But basically, what it should say is probably separate fact from fiction, bullshit from reality, right? I've got it. Truth doesn't care who said it. So it's still, you got to go after the truth. Separate the fly shit from the pepper, but also who's saying it. Because you can have a guy that you hate, you think he's full of shit, you think whatever, but he may be telling the truth. It's all about finding the truth, weeding through fly shit to get to the pepper. You may have a guy you really trust that says a falsehood. It's all right. We need the fact. Fly shit. Okay, separate, find the pepper. So I have trust doesn't care who said it. Look for the truth, okay? That's already at my website. It's at my store. Everything's good. I've been talking to John back and forth yesterday, and that's what I'm going to do today. And I may do something for him. Who knows? But anyway, that being said, my wife now, we have a video out on the website where she talks about bracelets and what she can do, and we got tons of stuff, so just go to my website, you can see that. My sports guys and gals, we're getting close. We got 10-11 days or so, and if you still want my special, got to do it by August the 22nd, and then it's going to go away. So far, very good response, and I know there's a lot more that said they want to do it, so just a reminder, 10-11 days, again, over at my website. Pretty much everything on the planet that I'm doing is at my website, kenknowsgambling.com. All right, last thing is, remember, all strategies will go down. Don't care who made it. Don't care who plays it. Sooner or later, the ridiculous, the unthinkable will happen. That you can count on. And if you don't have proper bankroll money management and huge discipline, you might as well not go because you're going to get creamed. Okay, that's just the way it is. All right. Now, here we go. Let's get into the show. I had created the KKG pyramid, and I have a couple ways that I do it. And if you watched yesterday's Tuesday show, John over at Casino Gaming Central, he has AI actually said it was one of the best things you could do, utilize a drawdown in it. And I came up to the point where I didn't like using the drawdown the way AI said, and I want to hold true to what I do. Well, The truth of the matter is, you can play it the way John does it if you want certain parameters. If you're a person that wants to stay and play, you don't want to be like me and hit and quit. You want to stay and play. Well, you can run them both, and you can do whatever you want to do. I don't think there's a whole lot of tweak. I told John on his show yesterday, I told him some problems I thought with doing the duck and cover too early, and he disagrees with me, and that's fine. I think there's room for both, but both of us admit, and it is the truth, the biggest problem is getting hit on the early lay, and that's what I wanted to go over. I'm going to go over a couple things, you know, the differences between the two styles, but then the meat and potatoes of this is going to be getting out of that early hit on the lay. That being said, the really weird thing is, I had another good friend of mine, Dylan, Skill and Luck, we talked yesterday, and he's wondering why I never did a John Patrick video, because I knew John Patrick very well. I too could call John Patrick on the phone. I had his private number. This would have been back 08, 09, really from about 09 to about 2012-ish, 13. I could call him all the time. He gave me his sports service for free. He knew my son by name. We would talk, and he would always want to talk about my son because he was a Marine, and you know, I know John was in the military, so he called my son the Devil Dog. And you know, I got fairly close. I never met him. We had tried to make plans for me to go down to Lutz, Florida. I think he said it was his daughter's house. He was living with his daughters, and we used to talk about how he had all sorts of a sports betting sheet. He said he had them everywhere, you know, every square inch of a room. But nonetheless, that never happened. I never got to meet him. I did talk to him live on the phone, but I never got to meet him. But then I was thinking, after me and Dylan was talking, we were talking about, you know, one of his strategies, and I was thinking, you know what? The problem John and I are having, both of them, are what to do with this lay that gets hit. So I think the best tribute you could probably ever have is maybe one of John Patrick's ways, or the ones that is the one that's going to get us out of this trouble. That may be the deal. All right? So, let's get into it. I'm not going to use nothing. I'm going to use two separate bankrolls, but I'm only giving, let's see, because when I do that one, we're going to need it. I'm going to give, let's say you got 1,500. All right? We'll give everybody 1,500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do two things at once. Maybe just 1,500. Okay? And then, I'd think 1,000 just for this explanation will be good. How about everybody gets, let me do, yeah. There's 1,100. There's 1,100. 1,200. 1,200. And then both of us get, say, $50 in reds. $1,250. All right. We're giving everybody even money. This is going to be mine. I'm going to make my bets back here. I'm going to make his bets up there. We both have $1,250. Let's remember that. Okay. Now, we really start out basically in the KKG pyramid. We basically start out the same. Okay. He's gonna lay $400 on the 10, and he's gonna put 25 on the hard 10. Then he's gonna come out. Pretty much, that's what both of us do with the little tweak. That's how he comes out. It's $560. 4, 5, 50, 560. Okay, we both had $1,250. Okay. I come out with 300, so there's a minor difference. I still come out this way, and I still do that and that. He's got an extra 125 out. He's got 560, and I've got 3, 4, 535. 135 and 3, 435. That's what I have, 435 out there. So there's a difference. All right. What I'm going to do before I get to the John Patrick part, what I'm going to do on this first run is make this about as easy as I can. I'm going to let him do the duck and cover while I do how I want to do it. All right. So this one is just the best case scenario. I want to see what happens to our bankrolls on the best case scenario. Then we're going to go into how John Patrick may be able to save our asses. So the 5 hits. There's 35. What does he do? He ducks and covers. Okay? I get 35. That's roll number 1. And I just take the 35. Okay? Let's say the 9 hits now. Whoops, I need some more. The 9 hits. He gets another $35. Alright? So he ducks and covers. This is the best case scenario, but I get 35 as well. I'm giving us both the best case scenario. And finally, I get 3 rolls. That's all I get. Finally, the 4 hits. He gets 50. I get 50. I keep my 50. And he ducks and covers. That is the best case scenario other than hitting 3 4s. Okay? In this part, when he got his first hit, he comes down 100. Because the way he's ducking and covering, he's trying to alleviate that. That's definitely one way to do it. On his second hit, he comes down, and I think on the third hit, he's all the way down. I'm still here. All right? Now, what I'm doing is I'm coming off, and I'm going to let this go for three rolls. I want the 7 now. All right, if the 7 comes, I get 150 minus the VIG. But we're just going to take the 150, and down it comes. That's the best case scenario for both of us. Because on that 7 that I hit by myself, he loses. Remember, he took everything down. He got rid of that so he didn't have to worry about it. And I'm not blaming him. But as I left it, it's just the best case scenario, right? So nobody got popped, and that's how this would play out. Well, what did I give? $1,250. There's 1,000. $12, $25, $50. There's $1,250. He's up $30 after the perfect scenario where he ducked and covered and got to come down. Either like that, don't like it, but anyway, that's what he likes. Me, on my perfect scenario, I want to get in, get out. So let me give me my $1,250 back. 5. There's 1,000. There's 11. There's 12. There's 50. There's my 1,250 back. He's got his 1,250 back on his perfect. He got 3/4. And I got 3/4, except I had that extra step. Okay? Now on those 3 rolls, maybe he stays out. That's not where I want to go. Maybe he does. I still would have more money than he does. The end. But again, this is for people who want to stay and play. I'm for people who want to hit and quit. So he's got 35. I got my 1,250 back just like he does. He's got $30. I got 150, 175 on a perfect storm. 225. I'm lacking $5 of being at my 250. I can theoretically go, I quit. I'll take my 250 and go home. I'm done. I'm done. He's not. He gets to play. Alright. So now, I forgot where he was. I think we had this ducked and covered, this ducked and covered. Then he had 30 here. This is just as of the show today. Yesterday. Alright. There. Now. Again, what is he going to do? He's only got a $30 profit. He still has to come out with that 300 again. So I'm going to give him, let's say he's still got to come back out and play. He has no choice. Otherwise, he can only play with $30. Okay? Now he's open again for that lay. I was open once. 6 total rolls. Now he's going to be into it again. All sorts of scenarios can happen here. On both sides. But I'm done for this scenario. Alright? He's got to get playing. So, let's give him a 35. Let's let it keep going. He gets 35, let's say, on the 9. Alright? He ducks and covers. And he gets to come down one. He's doing this the second time. Let's say this time the 8 hits. He gets 35. He's going to duck and cover. I won't even pull out the ones. Screw them right now. And then next time he gets a 4. He gets 20. Okay, but this time maybe he, puts that there. And maybe he, maybe he pops it like that. Alright? But he came down every time, and he's, as he wins, he comes down. Alright? Now he's playing basically for free. Let's give him some free wins. There's a 15. But he's going to take that and turn it into a green. That's what he showed yesterday. Alright? Of course, he did say at this point you can do it any way you want. And let's say we give this another win. Oh, 15. Alright, great. Let's take the 15 win. Now you got to make that 25. Okay, because he's pressing. And now let's say, remember, this is gone. And now you lose. This is the second round of this stuff. Of ducking and covering. I've been sitting with my 250 just watching. So there's the 12, there's the 50. Oh my goodness, in that scenario he lost. He shouldn't have. But he did, because every time you lose uncovered, you're going to go backwards a little bit. But it doesn't matter. Even if he has more perfect scenarios, he had that long, long, long run. Okay, now let's say he don't even put up the lay anymore. Let's say he just comes out across. And he starts hammering them, hammering them, hammering them, hammering them. Sooner or later, he's going to lose up here. And so a lot of his profits that could be here is gone. And that was what I was sharing with him yesterday. You're going to get to play longer. And if that's your goal, well, you're going to get it. All right? So those really are the two distinctive philosophies of what's going on. All right. The bigger problem at hand, because you can play this any way you want to. Me, pretty much how I did it. I'm going to get my money, and that's it. Right? That's just my philosophy. Doesn't have to be yours. I'll wait until I've won maybe $300. I could have went one more round, got another $100. Then I could do a duck and cover. I'm locked. I don't even have to worry about it. If it goes and I lose, and I still got my money. He had to keep playing. But remember, that's what he wanted. Okay. It's not a right or wrong thing. It's just a difference of philosophies. That's all. Okay? But we both have getting our butt handed to us on that leg. I have a longer run to get hit than he does. So when he's coming out at 4, I'm coming out at 3. Let's just deal with this for a second. What? And he's got an extra quarter over here. Who cares? But the 6-4 happens to us both. He's going to lose 4, and I'm going to lose 3. Now what? Here's where John Patrick comes in. I think John Patrick saves the day post-mortem. Thank you, John Patrick. Rest in peace. I have to cover $300. You have to cover 4. Perhaps you just... I do like coming out of DC, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it different. So he may be waiting for the point to come out of the DC. I've done it a million times. Great way to play. I got to come out for 300 here, but I got to wait for the point. Except I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go 3. I'm going to do John's do we don't. And then maybe you hedge the 12 for, let's see, what do you need? You need to hedge it here. 12 would lose 300. 10, you need to hedge it for $10 is about 300 or so. Like so. I'm going to do that. Here's my 300 waiting. But actually, I'm waiting. But I don't want to get clobbered by the 7 in the don't come. So the point now is, say, a 9. Okay? John now can put his 400 there if he chose to do it that way. I'm going to go, let's try John Patrick. Now, on that 9, I'm going to put odds. Maybe enough to cover. It's called the Ricochet. I don't want to get hit twice in a row. And I put up enough money, whatever that is, laying it, so I can get that 300 out. If the 7 comes now, because we got a point, I did this first, but I did it do-we-don't, so I can't get hurt. This is via John Patrick. The point comes out. We both put our money here. If the 7 comes at this moment, then he loses his 4. He lost 4 over here. Now he just lost his 4 again. I lose. Oh, this should be opposite. Like that. I lose the pass line, but I'm going to win here. They're going to equal out, but I'm going to win my odds money because the 7's going to lose here. So I get my money back plus the odds money. So I'm protected here. Are you with me? Having 300 here and say 450 here, okay? If I do that, hedge with the 12, well, that was down here. Now, guess what? If the 7 comes, yes, I'm going to lose that. These will equal out, but I had enough of the odds to protect that as well. All right. Now let's say, though, points in 9, we both put them out like so, and now the next is a 5. His 400 comes, my 300 comes. My odds come back down. I got mine out without having to worry. The only thing that can beat me is the Ricochet. The point getting popped 2 times in a row. That's the John Patrick way. That's the way to get from here to here as risk-free as you can. Now, we're both down. He's down 4, I'm down 3. You know, if the 7 comes now, great. He wins and I win. And we're both back to square one. He can stay and play, and I'm done. So really, John, if you're watching, of course, this is before your show. You're coming on here in a little bit. But that might be the answer to getting popped, is the John Patrick do-we-don't Ricochet. To get this puppy out and never have to worry about getting popped here. Like if we either one of us come out naked, and I love it. I play the DC all the time. But you know, and you can win on the 2, you can win on the 3, right? But you lose on that 7, 11. Even you can hedge the 11 a little bit. This method guarantees this puppy's coming out. Then you can take the odds off and you're fine. It's about getting it out and not worrying about it. That may be the answer, ladies and gentlemen. If it is, then yay, John Patrick. And there's my video for the day. It encompassed a lot of things. I'm not sure that John and I will ever agree on the style inside, because I'm a hit and quit, and he don't mind playing with some of his profits to get where he wants to go. It's just when your 7 comes, you go backwards. You take 2 steps backwards, you go 1 step forward, unless you get that monster roll. That's just my opinion. So there you go, 2 differences. But I think, John, if you're watching, think about the John Patrick Ricochet just to get this out, and you use the DC to get back even. Maybe that's the way to do it. All right. But anyway, good food for thought. And I guess that's it for now. So until the next time, y'all, be great. See you, bye.